Dear colleagues, dear TTO representatives and interested colleagues, I would like to deliver you today a presentation which is at the same time an awareness-raising presentation on the Visegrad Patent Institute, and also I will go into details, I think, which is in a certain question in respect of PCT route and international patenting, which I think is of core interest for you as TTOs who are serving the patenting process of the universities. So let me jump into my presentation. The establishment of the VPI took place around 7 years ago. So in 2015, there was the signing of the agreement, actually here in Bratislava. And then as the VPI, the Visegrad Patent Institute, is a PCT authority in Europe, the VPI sought appointment from the V4 General Assembly and was also appointed as International Searching Authority and International Preliminary Examining Authority in December 2015. The Visegrad Patent Institute started its operation on 1st July 2016, and the seat is in Budapest. Nevertheless, we have 4 branch offices. The task of branch offices is provided by the national IP offices. So the Industrial Property Office of the Czech Republic, the Hungarian Intellectual Property Office, the Slovak Industrial Property Office, and the Patent Office of the Republic of Poland. The structure, very briefly, of the VPI is very, very simple. We have a secretariat where I work. I am the director, and we administer the work of the administrative board, our governing body, with the representatives of contracting states. And we have 4 branch offices. You can see them below. They are doing the substantive work of the VPI, so search and examination. We are very proud of our quality management system. You can see we also have a quality manager. The services of the VPI, as you can see, these are the 3 services we are providing now: international search, supplementary international search, and international preliminary examination. We are planning to introduce the international type search. We still have some tasks to do and with that, and now the intended deadline for us is 1st of January 2024. That we will communicate on this process with our user in due time. The working languages are English, Czech, Hungarian, Polish, and Slovak. These are also listed in the agreement with V4. VPI can be chosen by the applicants from the Visegrad 4 countries, and also some applicants, from some neighboring countries. Now we have memorandum of understanding with the Lithuanian and the Serbian office, but we would like to extend our network beyond these offices, so we are hoping to conclude new memoranda of understandings. The number of applications. We had a peak in 2017, around 150 applications we received from our applicants. And you can see a drop in 2019. However, we could still manage not to have a second drop in 2020 during the COVID pandemics. And also in 2021, we could maintain basically the number of applications. From 2020, we are receiving Serbian applications. You can see on the top of the columns. And now in 2022, we have already 110 applications. It has to be said that the last months of the year is a high season for us. So there's a peak of applications at the end of the year. Everybody is it's like a New Year's promise. So in December, thank God for that, applicants tend to file a lot more applications, and usually 20% of the applications come in the last months of the year. So we still hope that this wave of application we are coming in the last months. But we are quite as planned with our number of applications. The nature of applicants, it means from where they are coming, from which kind of institutions. You can see that the bulk of the applications are coming from companies, represent 43% of all applications, and then individual inventors are using us. The reason of our event today actually is, you can see it in the table in the middle, that universities and higher education institutions from Czech Republic and from Czech Republic and Poland using us. However, Hungarian and Slovak universities are not represented in this we do not receive any applications from them. I think that there's a communication gap, so we can change this. So I am always ready if you have questions. Hopefully, my presentation will also have to clear up some questions that might hinder the applications coming from the universities from our region. Thank God, Czech Republic and Poland is also, the applicants from Czech Republic and Poland are very active. And also we receive applications from research institutions. This is a smaller number, but you can see that the Czech Republic is leading also this in this field. There are several benefits of using the services of the VPI. First of all, I would like to speak about general elements. This is, first of all, is quality. All of us know that applying for a patent has a lot of layers. Quality has to be set at a reasonable level. So if the quality is too high to acquire a patent, it's too difficult to get it. If it's too low, it's worthless usually. So we at the VPI, we would like to stick to the European best practices in search and examination. It means that the training of the examiners and also the using of the databases of the European Patent Office are the guarantee for our predictable office decisions and the predictable outcome at the end, even if you decide to choose in the regional phase the European Patent Office. For the branch offices have very, very extensive training plans for their examiners, and the European Patent Office is used a lot to train the examiners. But in addition to that, the VPI as a PCT authority is cooperating directly with the European Patent Office in the harmonization of its search activities. We take part every year in the Harmonization Files Exercise project, and also we are aiming at harmonizing our practice within the VPI. So twice a year we have cross-checks, so when colleagues are examining each other's decision, and they have an exchange of views on what could be done better, or which are the shortage, or which could be made better. And I think this is a good tool to increase our quality decisions. And as I mentioned before, the VPI has a certified quality management system, and we are working along the lines of the QMS. The other benefit is timeliness. You can see in the table that we are aiming at finishing early our searches, so it could be a significant advantage for the applicant that they can receive search reports earlier than in the case, for example, of the European Patent Office, where the workload is too heavy to speed up this type of work. Actually, we have an internal deadline. We are finishing 1 week earlier now as the PCT deadline. Usually, colleagues, they can also finish 2 weeks earlier, so they are aiming at achieving this target. In addition, from 1st of January, in the PCT, there are 2 deadlines for international search reports. One deadline is 3 months from the international filing, and the other is and the other one is from the priority date, 9 months. In case of the later deadline, we are aiming at reducing the 9 months search deadline by 1 month. So from after applications filed after 1st of January, which are direct PCT filings, they can experience an even better and more timely search report than before. What is another important advantage of the VPI is the language advantage. So basically, that applicants can communicate with the VPI in their national languages and receive assistance in their own language during the procedure. At a certain point of time, a translation into English must be filed. However, it's later in the procedure, and also if the applicant wishes, can file its application in English. I show you the diagram here that many of the applicants are using their national languages. So you can see that Hungarian and the Polish applicants, and also Slovak applicants, and also Czech applicants are using their mother tongue. However, there is still a certain relevant percentage of English language applications. So it's not a problem for us. We are happy receiving applications in English, but also the national language can be used. We came to the very important point that the cost of the PCT application. The PCT application is not a cheap. It's not a cheap procedure. It must be applied for those applications, patent applications, which will, by the applicant can see that there will be quite important international patenting need at the end of the procedure, and there are strong prospects for international utilization of the invention, and worldwide protection is needed. So, however, in our globalized economy, in a lot of cases, the international and patent application is needed. So I think in case, for example, of universities and research institutions, those really funded projects and high-scale projects that they are working on it, they deserve to be protected and to be by patents, so the inventions that come out, and it has to be, I think in the roundtable discussion we will have your experience on the international patenting, and which is very important that all universities have in place such an IP manual that can help them to really judge the importance and the need for international patenting. I always advise our applicants to use the national patent systems. So it is always the best way to find a national application in the contracting states, in the V4 countries, because we can manage there is a significant saving based on an earlier search done by national offices. And with this and with this significant 40% of refund of the search fee, we can achieve a cost saving in the international phase, which is quite significant. In Europe, we all have the same fees for international search. The European Patent Office and all the European international searching authorities, it's 1,775 euros. But if you have a priority application in one of the contracting states IP office, then it is possible that you get 40% of refund of the search fee. And in addition, eligible for previous search results are, of course, the search reports of the VPI contracting states national offices. Other national offices search reports are also accepted. For example, with the countries, more countries, the countries which IP offices, we have a memorandum of understanding. And also, we can also accept, it's not the case usually, a report prepared by the other international searching authority. This is not really a case, but also we also accept the previous international type searches if they exist. It's very important that the international phase has two steps. The international search and the international preliminary examination. In the case of international preliminary examination, there's also a significant cost saving, because if you compare the European Patent Office's fee as an IPER, so IPA, so International Preliminary Examining Authority, it is more than double of the fee of the VPI. This brings us to the next slide, that if you use the services of the VPI, you also get basically cost neutrality in the regional phase before the European Patent Office. It's not generally known that even if the European Patent Office has introduced in the regional phase supplementary step, the supplementary European search, and it is charging a fee for that. However, this fee is reduced for the European PCT authorities, including the VPI. So you only have to pay 205 euros. And when the procedure is going further, and when you have you are going into the examination phase in the regional phase, there is also a significant fee reduction, which takes into account the fee reduction in the search phase in the regional phase. So in that case, there are several scenarios where the VPI can be cheaper than the EPO. I don't want to go more into details. But the most important element is that if you choose the VPI as from the beginning of the international phase as your PCT authority, you can be sure that also in the European phase, in the regional phase, no such a big cost burden will fall on the application. So, because there are several pre-reductions in the regional phase before the EPO. What is also a very big benefit, I think, for our applicants is that in the international phase, going back to the international phase, when you are eligible for the refund of 710 euros from the search fee, we can handle it very, very quickly. You get the international search report, and with the search report you get a notice from your branch office on the possibility of refund, and we only need your bank account. Therefore you have to file a refund claim, which is administered directly by us, by the Secretariat, and you can also file it in email or through EPCT, and these 710 euros can be refunded to you in 48 hours if you use these electronic means. What we said at the beginning of our 5th anniversary last year in July, we were starting a different and very, very user-friendly approach. We have extended our customer care. We put a lot of efforts on convenient administration and on overall support for our applicants. So you can have direct contact with examiners and also direct contact with the VPI. You can find all the information in our contacts, even my contacts as well, on the VPI's website. And I would like to encourage everybody to contact us, even if you have a patenting plan or you have a question. We are happy to discuss. And in case you have a question which can be answered only by the national office, we will direct you to a colleague who will be happy to assist you with your question. So I think that we would like to be as user-friendly as possible, and having direct contact with our applicants is our pleasure. So I would like to encourage you once again to contact with us anytime you need information. So, thank you very much.